We're studying IGCSE ICT and we're starting input and output devices, revision 3. And let's recap what we did. To recap, we looked at OCRs and OMRs. Niranjana, check your notebook. Tell me what else did we do?
My notebook is not with me defined, so I'm writing in a new notebook.
All right. I want you to get your notebook back or have a proper notebook, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll have to memorize these notes and you'll have to find them later when the exams are here. Now, next thing we're looking at is this. Again. All right, Zahra is in class. Now on the book. Barcode readers. I think in the last class we looked at OCR, OMR, and I don't remember. Let's start with barcodes. Now barcode, Niranjana, start reading from the beginning. Quick.
Barcode readers are used to read information in the form of barcode. See barcode example, figure 2.24. The readers are usually in the form of barcode scanners and are often built into POS terminals in supermarkets. Handheld scanners or as shown in figure 2.25 are also very common for reading barcodes if portability is required. For example, if the barcodes are large or fixed objects.
All right, stop. Now barcodes are this which you have in the at the end of the book. Perhaps you have it in the products like a juice, perhaps, or some cookies, nuggets. All of that have this barcode at the end of the packet. Why do we use a barcode, you may ask? That is because we need a barcode to keep track of these things and put some information in it. Now, each barcode has some information inside it that when we scan it will tell us something. So, for example, let's look at the whiteboard. Zahara, can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir, I can hear you properly. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Now, if you look at this bottle right here, okay, and over there you'll see this barcode, exactly this. But how are we supposed to understand it? And how does it work? Another example of barcode is, let's see, this one right here. You're scanning the barcode right here. And another one which is QR code right here. Now, Niranjana, do you have QR code payments in Jizan?
So what?
Niranjana?
Yes.
Zara?
Yes, sir, it's there.
You have?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's cool. Now, let's go back to this. How do we use it? Zahra, read the uses.
Used in supermarkets and other shops where the goods are marked with barcode. The barcodes are used to give information about the product, which enables automatic stock control, itemized billing, etc. to take place.
All right, stop.
Used in
Niranjana, read the highlighted part again. Niranjana, you're muted.
Yes, sir.
Yes, read the highlighted part from point 1.
Supermarkets and other shops used to give information about the product, which enables automatic stock control, itemized building in laboratories to keep track of books.
Now, what's happening here is that every product has a barcode. Now, why do we need a barcode? Well, when we track, it helps us track how many things we have. So if you track every item, it allows you to control how many things there are in your store. Now look, if I have this shelf right here, this is my shelf, and I have some stuff on it. Let's say you go to a bakala and you see all these shelves, but how do they know when one item runs out? How do you know that? Well, our job is, if you look at this shelf right here, what we do is each item has a barcode on it, and that allows us to scan things. Let's say we have all of these items, this jar thing, some kind of thing. Then we have some cookie packet or something, cereals, and all of that. Now these items are there, and our job is to track them if they run out. How can we track it? Well, each of these will have a QR code like this. These boxes of information allow us to track it. Let's say I bring something like a tracker, a QR code reader. It will look like this. And with this device, I can just bring it right here and I can scan it. Fine, when I scan it, the light goes from here to here, and I scan it, and I will sell it to someone else. That's one way. Now, another way is before I put everything on the shelf, I will scan it with my barcode reader, and that will tell me how many things I have. So right now, let's say I have 10 boxes of milk, and I have 5 boxes of cereal. Now, when the people buy all of this and they go to the counter to check out and exit, the people will the cashier will scan it, this item right here, and once it has been scanned, what will happen to the stock here? Zahara, if someone buys one of these cereal boxes, what will happen to the stock of the cereal? Will it increase or decrease?
Decrease.
It will decrease. Now, when it decreases, I'll remove 4. I'll make it 4 now. And this person will go home, and Zara will eat her cereal, and she'll be happy. The person got some money for it. That's all. He's also happy. But the problem is, if I don't have this whole stock system set up, okay, and if a lot of people buy these boxes of cereal, and suddenly, after let's say all of these boxes have been finished, now when another person comes here to buy the cereal, it is empty, right? But the shopkeeper standing here has no clue. So how will he know that the stock has gone zero? Therefore, this QR code is connected to a machine, a computer right here, that whenever you scan it, whenever you scan this QR code in the computer, it will make the cereal, the count of the cereal 0. And when it becomes 0, it will give an error, or it will give some message. What will it give? It a message. It will give any message which will say something like this. On the computer, it will say cereal box, let's say cereal stock needs to be filled or needs refilling. Zara, can you hear me? Now, how does automatic stock control work? Can you tell me? Or what do you understand from all of this, Zara?
So when a person, okay, So when everything is placed there, and basically barcodes help you keep maintenance. For example, to know when the stock will decrease. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Perfect. Good job.
like when we
So it
need
will
to.
tell you when the stock is decreasing, and that will help you. That this whole process is called automatic stock control. Now write this in your notebook. Write all of this in your notebook. Barcode. What is a barcode? Barcodes are packets of information in form of bars. That is what barcode is. Write this in your notebook. Uses automatic stock control. Shops, uh, library. Well, in shops, that's in shops. And in library, let's say, keeping track of books and items. That could be in a library. Write this in your notebook. Tell me when you're done. What is the meaning of automatic stock control? Barcode reader is connected to computer. When an item is scanned, the stock level changes. The computer gives a message when stock needs to be refilled. Finish writing this. Tell me when you're done. Niranjana, are you writing?
Yes, sir.
By the way, what is a barcode reader? This is a barcode, right? Barcode reader is basically used to read barcode. A device used to read, let's just say we used to scan barcode. Let's just say read information in barcode. Write this as well.
Finished, sir.
Finish. Now the next thing is now just a second, just a second. Stock level in, write a word here, in database, or just add one more thing. Database of stock is constantly updated. Stock level in database changes. Now advantage, disadvantage. That is the story of ICT. If you had to make a movie on ICT, it would be advantage, disadvantage. It would be called advantage, disadvantage. because that's the big thing. You need to know the advantage and disadvantage of everything. That's much more important than the uses. So we'll write it faster than typing, less prone to errors, allow automatic stop control,
Sir, what's less prone?
less prone. Prone means let's just
Happen?
say happen, or less likely, or less cause. Let's say less likely for. It basically means that errors are less likely. So more prone means to makes have cause something. Okay, prone means to cause
Yes.
or get affected from. So what we can say is less likely to get affected from errors, or less affected to errors. That's right. Right. Prone means affected. Now you have to use this word prone many times in ICT. Now fourth, the last thing would be it is automatic. Yep. All right. This is reliable. Have you ever gone to, let's say, any mall, and in there you have a barcode, but the barcode is not there, so you can't buy the item. Let's say you pick up some item. Okay, let's say you want to buy a mug from Yabalash or somewhere, and that mug does not have any barcodes on it. Has that happened?
Yes.
Yes. Give me an example.
Like the stuff?
Yeah, what stuff?
Sir, once we were in a grocery store and you know the hyper panda they have packets of tissues.
Yes.
It was basically covered with the plastic and they said that there is no barcode on it, so we couldn't buy it.
Right, that has happened a lot of times on tissues. Yes. So it's easily damaged, and also it's expensive to set up. You have to buy the barcode reader. You have to create all these barcode. It takes a lot of money, right? It's not easy. Now that's done. Have you finished writing? Next thing is QR code. QR stands for quick response. So use. Use is basically advertising, payment in shops, uh, share links, share Wi-Fi. Done. Advantages. Advantages are can hold more information, fewer errors, easier to read, easy to share, and like lastly is more secure. Disadvantages. Many QR, let's say many QR code format can be used to show share malicious code. Any questions? What is a QR code, Niranjana? QR code. This right here.
We scan it, then we
Yes. Scan it and then
scan, and
what?
then we will get the data of the stock which is there updated.
Exactly. Yes. So, but the advantage is this square thing, this QR code looks like this, has much more information, can hold much more information than the barcode. What does a barcode look like? This is a barcode, that is a QR code. So more information than barcode. This is more, let's say this will give you less errors if you scan it. If I scan it with a scanner, it will give me less errors as well. Niranjana, read this out loud.
Disadvantages: many are code format can be used to share malicious code.
Malicious. What is the meaning of malicious?
Important.
Not at all. That's not a disadvantage. Write in your notebook the meaning. Separately somewhere, write it as English. I want you to use this in your writing. Malicious is harmful. What is it?
Harmful.
Harmful. Now, one thing about finding out new words is not to just read it once and then forget it forever. You know, there's one thing we say, let's say, inside from one ear and outside from the other ear. We don't do that. What we do is when we learn something new, we're going to use it in our writing. Now, output devices. Zahara finished writing. Did you finish?
Yes, sir, I'm writing the disadvantages.
And Niranjana, have you finished?
Disadvantages.
And we have three types. We're looking at actually a few types of output devices. We'll be looking at monitor, Then we look at touch screen, and we look at projectors, and we look at printers, and we will look at speakers. Now, firstly, let's start with the first one, monitors. How many types of monitors are there? There are two types. We have CRT, cathode ray tube, or we have the LCD or LED. Now we start with the CRT monitors first. Monitors. The first type is CRT monitors. All right. What is this? CRT stands for cathode ray tube. Write this in your notebook. Uses specialist areas like AutoCAD or CAD. Step 2. Used with light pens. Zahra, read it out loud.
The uses specialist areas CAD computer IDIP design used with light pens.
Light pens. Now we looked at light pens already in the last class, I think, or few classes ago. Niranjana, can you tell me what is a light pen? Niranjana,
Yes, sir.
what is light pen? Zahara, do you know?
Sir, what?
What is a light pen?
Light pen is that the one which they use for presentations and they point on the projector?
No,
Right.
not that one. No. No. Light pen is what you use on a CRT monitor. What is a CRT monitor? I'll show it to you. All right, guys, can you see this? Have you seen this in your life? Zahra, this is called CRT monitor. Now we have something called a light pen. What is a light pen? A light pen looks like this. Can you see this person drawing on this cathode ray screen with this pen right here, this one. Can you see it, Zara, Niranjana?
Yeah, sir.
Now this is called light pen. What is a light pen? Light pen is a device used to draw on a CRT monitor. What is it, Zara?
CRT monitor.
No, it's not a CRT monitor. What is a light pen?
What is a light pen? A pen, it's an input device, and we use it on CRT monitor for making presentations or
Not presentations, drawing. You should draw on a CRT monitor. So no presentations, nothing like that. Now, one thing we need to understand is things in technology, everything has a specific purpose. So if we join it with something else, then the answer becomes completely wrong. So write this in your notebook as well. Light pen.
sir,
Listen, yes.
a very old teacher here. She's my mom's friend. Dora used to study with the light pen, and she also used to draw it. She also used to make presentations. She also used to write notes with it.
No, but that is not a light pen. That's called a stylus. Or you can say note pen, perhaps, if you know that. Light pen is only used with this monitor. So did you use this monitor, Zara? This one?
No, sir, I haven't used this monitor. I just saw her this monitor with her. This monitor
Yes.
was with her.
Now today we have many types of these pens, which are called stylus. Now you can use it for presentations, for lots of things. Okay. Device you should draw. Let's say draw and select. Like this, select options or draw and navigate. So navigate. Okay, all right, you can do presentations, but the problem is nobody does presentation on CRT monitors, do they? Have you
Yes,
seen
sir.
anyone doing a presentation on a CRT monitor? In today's day, everyone does it on a whiteboard or some projector is there. There's some laptop, some computer. So for that, to use something else. This light pen will not work on anything other than this thing, this big box. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Niranjana? Niranjana, will a light pen work with your laptop?
Yes, it can, I guess.
So that's the whole thing I'm saying, Niranjana. It will not. It only works with CRT. What does it work with?
Only CRT. Sir, but they almost have similar characters, right? The laptop one.
Yes. Yes, but no, not the laptop in this. There are other pens out there, like light pen, which will work on your monitor, but light pen will not work. So other pens like the note pen, stylus, and all of that, I'll show it to you.
Okay.
They will work on it, but not this guy. Just a second. Now this is called a stylus. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Now that is basically you can draw it with any touch screen on your computer, laptop, whatever you want, projector. But this is not a light pen. Light pen is like this. It has this wire connected to the CRT monitor. Can you see that? This wire. It has this big wire. So just to make it clear again, will a light pen work with anything other than a CRT monitor? Niranjana?
No.
No, done. Now done. Okay. Disadvantages are, write this quickly. And what is the use of light pen? Please write this as well. It's also for navigation. Yes. So you can do presentations on it if you want to use a CRT monitor. So that's not a problem. You can do whatever you want, but only on a CRT monitor. Now, use more power. Flicker. Which causes headache and eyesight problem. Let's just say which causes it. Finish writing this, tell me when you're done. Next type we have is called the LED, LCD monitor. What does it stand for? It stands for liquid crystal display. Uses hours of LCD, uh, laptops, computers, everything, computers and mobiles. Now your mobiles and laptops and all of them are LCD, not CRT. CRT are this big box, but the small thin ones are called uh, LCD, LCD screen. Done. That's it. Okay. Well, this is an output device. That's I think that's obvious. The advantages. Advantages are uh, very efficient. Second, lightweight. It's not heavy. This big box is very heavy. Small box is not heavy. Small box looks like this. Just a second. Now, please don't call it a small box, call it LCD and CRT. CRT is heavy. LCD is not as heavy. Look, this is LCD. Offer touchscreen option. Now, are not touchscreen, by the way. We cannot use CRT as touchscreen.
Sir, are you writing something on the board?
Yes. Can you see it?
Sir, I will rejoin. I think my internet is weak.
Niranjana, are you writing?
Yes, sir.
Now, color and contrast is not, or let's say, varies at different viewing angles. Now, Niranjana, has this ever happened if you're trying to watch a movie and if you look at your monitor, your laptop from a different angle, it looks black or something like that? Has that happened? Niranjana, if you look at your monitor, does it look the same from all sides? Try.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So if you see right here, you realize that from this side it looks a bit black or dark, right? You can't see what is on the screen. That is a problem with LCD. You have to look at it directly. If you see it from some other side, it will not look clear. Motion blur is a problem. 3, let's just say low contrast, then LCD, then CRT. That's done. Now the next thing we have is called touch screen. Now both of these are monitors, by the way. These are monitors. Now we have touch screen. This is 2.3.2. Zahra, are you writing?
Yes, sir. I finished the LCD one. Yeah, on the screen.
Okay,
It's not right.
touch screen. Touch screen is basically now touch screen is it an input device or output device? What do you think?
It's an
Touch
input
screen is input
device.
or output? Input device. Niranjana, what do you think? Niranjana, is touch screen input or output device? Now, touch screen, the touch part is input, okay, but the screen is output. What does that mean? What that means is touch screen is both input and output. What is it, Zara? Touch screen is both input and output. How is that possible? Is that possible, Zara?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because we give a command to a screen, we touch it,
You can
and
give a
that's the command
command.
to screen. Yeah. No, we don't give a command. Actually, we touch it. So is that like a command or something?
That is a command. That is a command.
Yeah.
So that is touch screen. But when you see something on the screen, you're getting information from the computer, right?
Yes, sir.
That is called output. Now, advantages. Advantages are if you have one, it's faster. Two, it's easy for choosing options. Now, what is more easy, Zara? When you go to McDonald's, is it easier to type the menu or choose the menu on the screen?
Shows the menu on screen.
Right? So that's why a touchscreen is a big thing as output device in restaurants and stuff. Ticket collection machine in restaurant, uh, cinema, etc. It's user friendly. Lastly, so that's it actually. Or let's write one more. Option 2, zoom in. Niranjana, read the advantages out loud. I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Now read the advantages.
Advantages: faster, easy to choose options, user friendly. So I consider option to zoom in.
You have option to zoom in, all right? And it's not good for entering a lot of information. Third one is, let's say, screen can get airy. Or let's just say spreads, infections, right? Because if a lot of people are touching, constant touching can spread infections. Like when you go to the cinema and it's COVID and everyone is using the same menu and you're touching everything, and then you come back home, now you have COVID. So that is not something good. We don't want that to happen. Astaghfirullah. So let's not use input devices when we have a lockdown. So what we try to do is, let's say we use a tissue to touch the screen, or clean the screen before you touch it. All of that, you don't need to know this for ICT, but you do need to know that it can spread infections. Last thing is, Okay. Last thing is less visible in strong light. Now, when you go to the sunlight, all right, outside and outside, and when you try to look at your mobile phone, is it difficult to read that? Is it difficult to see the screen in sunlight? Yes, no, Zara.
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
Because,
Because yeah,
because there is not enough
brightness, not enough brightness, and that is why touch screens are sometimes not useful in strong sunlight because you cannot see them directly, right? Or let's say less, let's say difficult, more difficult. Write this in your notebook. More difficult to read. Reading is difficult, very difficult. That finishes touch screens. Any questions? Niranjana, read the disadvantages.
Disadvantages: limited options, not good for entering a lot of information. Constant touching can spread infections, more difficult to read in strong sunlight.
All right. Now, okay. Let's see. Now, have you used this ever? Options like these. You can get cheese, you can get ketchup, all of this. It's in restaurants, and this is what uh, they mean when it is very good for easy for choosing options. So they're always used for in cinema, restaurants, and ATM and everything.
Yes, sir. They newly launched this in McDonald's too.
They did. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Which one? Uh, the one which is behind
Same
Kazoo.
as this.
Say that again.
Same as this one. Like we have to order it by ourselves.
I know that one, but which restaurant?
McDonald's.
Is it near Cornish?
No, sure. Even in Sabia's, McDonald's, and Jazan,
All right, that
everywhere.
one. All right. Yeah, in Jazan, it's near the Cornish. Right. I forget that you live in Sabia. Never mind. And all right, no one from Jazan here. That's sad. Next, let's see. We have 2.3.3. What is that? That is called a multimedia projector. Now, I think you guys know what projectors are. You go to computer lab, it's right there. When we were in school, we broke a projector. Now, that's something to tell others. So now I'm not telling you to break projectors, don't do that. But we're going to learn about projectors. And how do we learn about that? By looking at projectors. So projectors. Can you tell me, Niranjana, what is the use of a projector?
We can see things more larger.
See more larger, all right. I think this is the one you have in school. And a bit cheaper, right? Now, next one is, let's see. The use, how does it work? Well, one thing we need to realize is the uses of this is uses it's in presentations, right? Training presentations, teaching presentations. And after that, we also have some other stuff. Keep writing. And then, Ranjana, have you finished writing the touch screen part?
What's it?
The touch screen part, this one, all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then the uses right here. Now the uses are you have presentations, fine. They're also used as home cinema. But can you tell me an advantage of this? Think Niranjana, come on.
Help to see presentations or something larger.
Large, that's great. Also allows many people to see. Now, if you have a presentation on a laptop, that's kind of useless because nobody can see it, right? But if you have it on a large screen, that's very good. So one thing is allows large images to be shown. Third is no need of many computers. Now, one thing you can do is either get a big screen or get many computers, like a computer lab, right? So if you go to the computer lab, the teacher can show you something on all of your screens. I think you have about 10 or 40, 20 computers in the computer lab, and in those 20 computers, you can show something. But the problem is you need 20 computers. That's expensive, and that is why perhaps they don't update it to Windows 10. Now, can you tell me which Windows is the computer lab using right now?
In the school,
In the school, yes.
sure, we never used. In fact, we asked our ICT teacher, can we just go and look in the lab? And she was like, no, you're not supposed to go because you guys are ICT students. So we didn't.
So who's supposed to go? Biology student.
I don't know, sir.
It's okay. It's okay. Now the thing is, they're still using Windows 7. That's what I was saying. So if you open it, you'll realize it's still Windows 7. I think that will be a problem. And now look, the practical exams are on computers, by the way, right? So well, you have computers at home. We'll be doing practicals on the computer. That's fine, no worries. We have computers. We don't need the computer lab. Now, write the advantages, write the disadvantages. We're almost done. Advantage is done. Disadvantage is expensive. Obviously, images can be blurry. It's very difficult to get the proper image. It takes us 10 minutes to actually set this up and get a proper image. And setting up projector is difficult. You need wires and everything. You need HDMI cables, this cable, that cable, all of that. So that's difficult to set up. Niranjana, any questions?
No, sir.
Sir,
No, all right. Yes.
to go now. The teacher, actually, I told her today that I've been missing a lot of ICT classes. So it's important to take ICT class. And she was like, you have to come back soon. So she's calling me now. Can I go?
All right, write this first and then go. Have you finished writing?
No, sir, I was on advantage.
Finish writing, then we'll be done. Now, guys, please don't miss classes because there's lots of syllabus to cover. Chapter 3 is all about storage and storage devices. Then we have chapter 4 about network, internet.
Done, sir.
All right. Fine, finished?
Yes.
You can go. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Niranjana, can you hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Finish writing.
Not yet.
We'll look at some questions, all right? We'll practice some questions. Fast with this. So what did we study? We studied projectors. Let's look at projector. And Niranjana, how many papers are there in ICT? Tell me.
Sir, what?
How many papers are there in ICT?
3 papers.
All right, 3 papers.
Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3.
How many are practical?
1. Practical 2.
Oh, 2 practical. Right,
1 theory.
1 theory. Now, finish writing quickly. We'll solve some questions. Finished? Rajana, tell me, have you finished?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, since we finished our input devices of the day, let's quickly finish this as well. Can you tell me what is A?
Projector.
Projector. What is B?
Uh, it is. So can I see the options?
Yes, you can.
I feel like that is a dot. Wait, that's a laser printer.
Laser printer. Yes. Then you have projector.
Yeah.
What as 2 things are remaining? What do you think
That-
these are?
Speakers.
Speakers? I don't think so.
Then
Perhaps these are DVD RAM. It's easy. I'm
really.
kidding. No, they're not. I'm kidding. It's easy, right? These
Yeah.
questions are easy.
So
Now,
is
last thing
the
is
C part a dot max printer?
yes. So none of these are monitored. None of them are pen drive. Not a DVD RAM, and obviously we don't have anything called buzzer. And it's not an output device anyways. So yep. Well, buzzer is an output device. It is, but it's very unlikely you're going to get a question on buzzer. So it has to be something from a printer, speaker, printer, all of those things. Monitor. Now, next question. This is difficult. Now, this is where the real stuff comes in. Read the question.
Discuss
Ranjana, read the question. Yeah.
discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the different input devices
The
which
whole
could
thing
be
from the beginning.
Okay. A small library is suitable in a village. When a book is borrowed from the library, the borrower presents the book and their library card to the librarian. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the different input devices which could be used by the librarian to record being borrowed.
All right. The book being borrowed. What are the different kinds of input devices we can use? Tell me. different kinds of input devices. Well, we know we have done all the input devices. We have barcode, QR code, reader. We have keyboard, mouse, trackpad, joystick, driving wheel. All of that is done. So, what input devices can they use, and what are the advantages and disadvantages? How do I answer?
So can you help me in this?
I can help you, right? Now, look, don't think ICT is like this, because that's this question is 1 out of 10, or let's say 1 out of 20. You'll get a question like this. This question is there's a 30% chance you get a question like this. Not a 30, let's say 60% chance. So this is what you need to focus on, because it's very important we know everything, like a shopkeeper, right? When you go to shop, when you go to Jareer, and if you ask the person, I want to buy a laptop, they'll tell you this laptop, that laptop. It has this much RAM, it has that much RAM. You have to become like that person. You should know it's like the librarian is buying something from you and you have to sell it to her. So you have to tell her the advantages and disadvantages. How will you do that? Well, first thing first, we look at the marks, the mark on the question. How many marks? How much is the question paying you to answer this question? Come on. 6, right? 6 marks. So how many points do we have?
3.
3. So if they're paying you 6 marks, they get 3 marks. Points, they don't get 8 points. For that, they should pay you 8 marks. But they're not. Now, advantages. Well, before we write advantages, of what? Advantages of what? They're not saying anything here. They're just saying input devices. So our job is to first realize what kind of devices will a librarian need to record a book being borrowed. So what devices will she need, or can she use for this? What devices you have in a library? Input devices in libraries. Tell them.
We can use scanners.
Louder.
We can use scanners.
For what kind of scanner? A document scanner, QR code scanner, barcode scanner.
A barcode scanner.
Barcode scanner. Perfect. We got 1. Now we
Yeah.
don't say scanner, we say reader.
Okay.
Next.
Then what else?
We need at least input devices. So we need at least 3 input devices, because we need 3 points, right?
Yeah. Barcode scanner and then
Thing. Have you gone to the library in school?
yeah.
So remember, what do they have there on the table at the side? They have
We have a register.
register, but that's not a computer device.
Yeah.
Just beside the register, they also have a computer, right?
Yes, I don't remember.
They have a computer as well. So on that computer, what do you need on a computer? What kind of input devices? Louder, I can't hear you.
To record everyone who took the books from there.
One more time. What other devices do you need?
Like
Or
a
what input devices
file or
in that?
something to know who took the book from the library. Like
A file record, but that is not a computer device. That is a book, a physical device. We need a digital device. So I can give you options. All right, I'll give you some options. I'll tell you, you can have keyboard, you can have touch screen, you can have QR code, you can have RFID reader. So what are these? You can have the magnetic strip reader. You can have chip and pin reader. So which of these you think will?
No.
No chip and pin. No. Okay. You have chip and pin reader. You have magnetic strip reader. You have keyboard, you have mouse, you have touch screen, which we did. We have barcode reader is done. We have QR code reader. Yeah, so tell me which of these you think are useful in a library?
QR code reader.
Well, QR code reader, but that's the same as barcode reader.
Yeah.
So we can't write that. The mark scheme does not allow that. So you have to write barcode or QR code, not both, because they are exactly the same. Now you have these options, choose. Take 30 seconds, then I'll tell you the answer.
I don't know.
I'll tell you. You can use all of these.
Oh, okay.
Or, I mean, you can use anything in a library. Because look, you can use a chip and pin reader. Why? Because let's say, what if someone is buying a book or someone is borrowing a book? Perhaps you have to pay some fee. Let's say you have to give 10 riyal to borrow the book. If you have to give 10 riyal, just a second. All right. So if you want to borrow a book, you have to give some fees, perhaps sometimes. So for that, you can use a chip and print reader. Chip and print reader is for the credit card, debit cards, right? Magnetic strip reader for credit card, debit card. So let's remove that guy. Let's keep that. Now keyboard for what? Well, yeah, she has to take all the information, right? You give the full name. So she will enter the name in the computer. Let's say Niranjana Aji has to take the book and she wants to read about the how to get better at basketball. That's the book she wants. So she'll enter the name. Okay, Niranjana is taking this book. And for that, she has to use a keyboard. And she also has to use a mouse. Well, so we're using all of this. Fine. Touch screen will be easier. Perhaps the librarian can directly use the touch screen to choose all the options and give the book to the reader, the person. So I'll choose a few of these. I'll use keyboard, touch screen, and pen reader. Well, keyboard, barcode, QR, and keyboard. Three, these things. Any questions, Nirajana?
So
The next thing is advantage of barcode. Tell me. You can also use a touch key. So advantage of any of these devices, tell me. Let's start with barcode. If I go to barcode, check your notebook and tell me.
it can be used disadvantage.
First, advantage. Think, tell me quick. Nirajana, read from here. Out loud.
Reader, magnetic strip reader, FRI touch screen is quicker to enter data than keyboard, mouse, barcode reader, QR, magnetic is more accurate when entering data than keyboard, touch screen and file reader, keyboard can put more information than magnetic strip reader, barcode code reader, mouse and touch screen.
All right. Now I want you to speak closer to the microphone.
Okay.
Now, so read the red parts. The red part is basically how you're comparing. So one comparison is about the accuracy. The other one is how much information you can put and how much data, how fast it is. Let's write this in the notebook. Points to consider. When comparing input devices. First one is speed of input, or let's say speed of input.
On keyboard.
So how quick is it, right? Or quickness, speed of input. Then we'll say accuracy of input. Then we'll say amount of information that can be input. Is that clear? So you have to compare these. Now, what is faster, Niranjana? QR code or keyboard?
QR code.
Right, you scan it. Now, lastly, this is for advantage. Now, for comparing input devices, advantages. So comparison, lastly, just write this and we're done. Advantages are number of options. We'll have portability. We'll have errors, or how prone to errors, let's say. That's it. Now these three things we have to compare. Write it in your notebook. One more thing we have to write is RSI. Restricted hand wrist movement. Any questions, Niranjana?
No.
So it's like combining everything we've learned so far, and we have to use all of this, and we have to say, okay, barcode is faster than keyboard, so you can use a barcode. All right. It's like giving suggestions to the librarian, right? If you give suggestions to your friend, you have to give suggestions. You can say, well, QR code is very accurate compared to keyboard and touchscreen, right? Because you just have to scan it and all the information goes like a flash, done. An amount of information, well, with keyboard, you can write much more than with a barcode, right? Barcode is very small, doesn't have too much. But with keyboard, you can write name, address, phone number, all of that. Disadvantages, well, touchscreen does not have many options, right? With a keyboard, you can write whatever you want, but how are you going to type on a touchscreen? So that will be difficult. Next thing is if you use a lot of keyboard and mouse, it can make your hand pain. Also, if you're typing with keyboard, then there will be more errors, right? If you scan with QR code, there's no error in that. But if you write with a keyboard, that will cause errors because you can make spelling mistakes and all of that. Lastly, the portability. Now you can't carry keyboard everywhere, can you? But if you have touch screen, that is more portable. Touch screen is there, you can just use it wherever you want. But you have to carry the keyboard and everything. That's not a big thing, not a good thing. Niranjana, have you finished writing?
Yes, sir.
So that's it. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No. Now, next class, Niranjana, quickly recap. What did we study in this class?
Today we studied about barcodes, advantages, disadvantages, then we learned about monitors, and then projector, and then lifetimes. We did
Printed
past
speaker?
paper. Yeah.
Past paper. And we looked at projector and the types of displays, monitors,
Yes.
LCD and CRT.
Yeah.
That's what this is the next class. Please write this in the notebook as well. So I remember what I have to teach you. Because
Okay.
there's lots of classes. All right. Take care. Just a second.